Hello, I'm Zoe.
And I'm Tim.
We are the authors of The Grammar Book, and in this video we're going to explain 5 grammatical concepts that sound more complicated than they really are. Why do you start?
Okay, so one of those things is the past progressive tense, which sounds like something very complicated, gets even more complicated when you realise that some people call it the past continuous tense, which also sounds very complicated. We all know what the past tense is, don't we? If I say, I walk down the street, I can make that into the past tense by adding ed to the verb walk, and it becomes I walked down the street. If I say Bob makes cakes, that's an irregular past tense, which I form by saying Bob made cakes. The simple past, which is what we've used there, refers to completed actions. But if I'm referring to actions that were in progress at the time I'm talking about, I use the past progressive tense. So for example, rather than I walk down the street or I walked down the street, I would say I was walking down the street. Rather than Bob makes cakes or Bob made cakes, I would say Bob was making cakes. I'm referring to actions that were in progress at the time I'm talking about. It's one of those simple everyday things. We all do it all the time, but that's the name for it. That's the past progressive tense.
Okay, number 2, the indefinite or definite articles. The indefinite article simply refers to the words an and a. We use it when we're not talking about a specific thing. For example, if I said I am looking for a cat, I'm not talking about any cat in particular. Whereas the opposite of that is the definite article, which is the. And if I said I was looking for the cat, I'm looking for a very specific cat.
Okay, subject and object. So the subject of a sentence tells you who or what is doing something in that sentence, and you'll often find it immediately before the verb. So for example, in the sentence, I wrote a letter, I am the subject because I wrote the letter. The object of the sentence tells you who or what something is being done to. In that sentence, I wrote a letter is the object because a letter is what is being written. Both subjects and objects can be single words or longer phrases. In the sentence, the big red dragon frightened the small boy, the big red dragon is the subject because the big red dragon is doing the frightening, and the small boy is the object because the small boy is being frightened.
You make it sound so simple. Okay, next one, a fronted adverbial. This is one that's plagued parents during, I think, remote learning. So, as we know, adjectives modify nouns and adverbs modify verbs. An adverbial phrase is a collection of words that acts as an adverb in a sentence. For example, in the sentence, I ate my dinner as quickly as I could is the adverbial phrase. It acts as the adverb. If you stick that adverbial phrase or that adverb at the front of the sentence, you've got a fronted adverbial. So as quickly as I could, I ate my dinner. It's conventional to put a comma after a fronted adverbial.
Comparative and superlative adjectives. Okay, so these are a special type of adjective that we use to compare things. So, for example, I am tall. That's an adjective which describes me. My brother-in-law, Zoe's brother, is taller than I am. So taller is a comparative adjective. I'm comparing his tallness to my own. If I were to look in the Guinness Book of Records, I could find out who the tallest person is. Tallest is a superlative adjective. I'm comparing something to all other things of that type. I'm comparing the tallest person in the world to all other people, be they tall or short. So you'll be able to think of countless examples. Funny is an adjective, funnier is a comparative adjective, funniest is a superlative adjective. Strange, stranger, strangest, hard, harder, hardest. That's how comparative and superlative adjectives work.
So hopefully that has made you realise that actually grammar isn't as complicated as it might sort of seem, and don't be deterred by that terminology because actually once you get into the nitty-gritty, it's far simpler than you think. For more ideas, information, teaching resources, everything you need to know about primary grammar, you can buy the Grammar Book, available, well, everywhere?
Everywhere as far as I'm aware.
Everywhere. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.